Hey there investors, this is Tyler from Augury Research. In this video, I'm going to be discussing a MuCell. That is my largest investment and it is one of my favorite holdings in my portfolio. It's my big bet. I want to see this thing hit and we have a catalyst right on our fingertips. So let's kind of dive into what's going on with ReTain. And let me try to explain it the best I can. And I'm no, doctor, so bear with me as to how this drug works. All right. So ReTain, how it works. ReTain is basically a bactericidin, and what that is it's a protein that's produced by bacteria of one strain and active against similar strains. So a bactericidin is a small peptide, toxic for certain bacteria, good for certain bacteria. In our case, it's toxic to the bacteria that we're trying to fight against. And it works by degrading the cell wall and the cell membrane. And because of that, this will cause the cells to lose water and electrolytes and eventually die, cease to exist. This is important because typical drugs are antibiotic, and that is generally larger dosing, and they're more toxic than bactericidins. So because ReTain is less toxic, this allows for that no milk discard, where the typical drugs on the market are more toxic. They have to discard the milk once the cows are treated with the antibiotics. Now, the FDA has warned that the overuse of antibiotics may pose a high public health risk. And basically how this is working is the concern is that the widespread of antibiotic drugs could encourage the growth of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. So we put these antibiotics into the animals, and what it does is actually, the bacteria, they're no dummies. They get stronger, they get smarter, they learn how to fight against these antibiotics. So that's why the bactericidin is, important, right? And these are called superbugs. So basically, long story short, ReTain kills cells by degrading the cell wall. The competition, their mode of action actually inhibits growth of bacteria by preventing cells from dividing, multiplying. So kind of think about it like this. It seems like ReTain, and the active ingredient is this substance called nisin or nisin. It's a more targeted approach. So it's better at finding, what bacteria do we need to get rid of, and it attacks it. Whereas the antibiotics are a more blanketed approach. And what this does is, with the more targeted approach, if we can directly get rid of these bacteria without having to throw a blanket on the fire, we'll basically, it'll be a healthier route to getting the same result. So this allows the zero milk and meat discard, which is a really good thing. But here's some other benefits of the ReTain product versus the competition. So one, we get a higher quality of milk. The way they measure the quality of milk is by somatic count, and this lowers the somatic count, which causes increased milk premiums to producers, longer shelf life of that milk, and three, better pizza, so we can all enjoy pizza more. Amora, Al's company, he'll be making the best pizza in the world because he's going to have the greatest cheese in the world, because he's going to be buying cheese from farms that use ReTain product. So we have higher milk production, improved reproduction of cows. We got reduction in clinical flare-ups on the farm. That's really important. Reduction in pathogen load on the farm. That's important. Overall, we have a lot healthier cows, and that is, the entire purpose of a MuCell is cow health, and these guys are crushing it. So before we kind of go into all of that, let's just look at what else is on the market for mastitis and kind of see where ReTain fits in. So these are all the other drugs. These are all antibiotics. And ReTain kind of sits up here on top, and we are trying to get, that clinical label claim. That's the big dog. But basically, we have a small edge here in the sense that we are not an antibiotic. We are using a different approach with hopefully superior results. And we're going to see that here is that when we go to the pricing breakdown, ReTain is going to be a premium product. It will not be as cheap as the competition. Now we can see, some of these other treatments can get into that higher range of $30, but basically, as Brigham has said previously, this is going to be a premium product. It will be, delivered at a higher cost compared to the competition, but it will be superior in the sense that it's not an antibiotic, right? So this is, bio-innovation at its finest, a mucil on the edge of innovation. All right, so one of the reasons I liked this company so much was, one, it was such a tiny market cap, and you were getting so much value at the time. Because I haven't even talked about First Defense, and First Defense is a booming product on its own, and I'm expecting similar rollout because these guys know what they're doing, and they have the contacts, they got the whole shebang. They're ready to roll. But when I was making this investment, I was telling some older people, hey, look, I'm buying this $30 million market cap company. This is the deal with it. I like it a lot. Make sure you take a look at it. And, everyone's reaction, like their natural reflex is like, oh, you're buying a micro penny stock at, yada, yada, e-liquid. These are all bad things. And, those are just investing myths. One, you're buying businesses. And if you do the research and you discover that this is, a legit business, you're fine to make that investment. You just have to be aware of kind of what's going on. So, in my due diligence, one of the main things, the main drivers in me buying this company was looking at the buildings that they have, getting to know the business, understanding, who's running it, where it's located, always, and to my surprise, when I was, researching this, is, okay, one, headquarters is beautiful, nice. Two, look at this plant. This is where ReTain is going to be made. And a little bit of backstory on ReTain is when they were making this drug originally, they brought the science to, the big guys, the big players in the industry, presented it to them, and, there was interest there. But the problem is that these bigger companies wanted to take all the profits. ReTain came back, or Amuso came back and said, we're not giving these guys all of our profits. We did the research, we did the the thinking here. Let's bring this in-house and let's just do it ourselves. And that's when they invested $20 million into this facility. I think it was actually $21 million. And I included a video here if you want to actually take a tour of both facilities. You can find it here in this video. But long story short, the company's legit, and now let's get into the First Defense product. So, this company already had a drug on the market in First Defense. The First Defense product line is good, it's really working, and we can see that here. So, from 2018 to 2020, they've gone from 32% of market share to 41% of market share. That's really good. Business is doing well here. And to give you a different perspective, this is calf level, and then this is calf and dam level market share. And while this pie looks a lot smaller, it kind of gives you a perspective as what this runway can look like in the future. So there's a whole lot of pie for us to continue to eat, and we are eating. Right? We are growing. We are capturing market share. And, we hold a lot here, and that can be early signs of a moat. This business has, superior products. We are making cows healthier. We do have, we have really good reviews. People enjoy buying our products. They enjoy, the health benefits that their cows are getting from our products. And this is really, really important because the number one thing in investing, I take longevity over growth any day of the week. People are going to continue to buy this product, and our company is proving, hey, look, we're not just sitting on our rear ends all day. We're still innovating. We're still getting better. We are going to capture this cow market, which is important. So just to give you a little idea as to what this business has done in the past and where it's going. 2011, $5.1 million in sales. Okay, pretty decent. But now, fast forward to 2020, we're at $15.3 million in sales, and we're maxed out. The reason why the top line has basically seen a strangle is because we can't actually produce all of the product fast enough. So what we've done is we've taken money and we've invested in improving our production facility. So ReTain is, First Defense is maxed out at $15.3 million. Like that is, we can't make any more. So we made these investments, and now according to the last quarter, which is just a few days ago, we're up to $18.3 million run rate. And all we need is one piece of equipment, and we should be getting that equipment, hopefully within the next 6 months. And once we get that piece of equipment installed, we should be up to around $23-24 million run rate. That's really great. That means, we have backlog. People want our product. We literally just can't make it. So once we get that piece of equipment, we should be seeing a nice growth, in top line. Second, we're expecting to, hit that $24 million in sales. That's beautiful. So excited about that. We're so bullish that we're actually investing $4 more million to expand the capacity from 23 million or 23.5 million or something like that to 30 million. So, we're expecting this product in First Defense to continue to boom, continue to work hard for us, go from 15 to $30 million in sales over the next, couple years. Second, a little steroid. We put on that ReTain drug because we have 2 drugs now, and they're looking to do $10 million in sales, I think, in maybe the first 18 months or something like that. We already we're kind of right now in the process of stockpiling inventory. Yes, the business is going to have to invest into inventory, this ReTain inventory on drug approval, but we already have kind of that working. And once this drug approval hits, we're going to do this pre-launch, and we're going to start seeing sales from this stuff, within the next couple of years. So this is a rarity in a sense that there's not a lot of great, growth stories on the market at this level, and ImmuCell has a chance to be one of the top growth stories going forward. And we know there is runway here. We know that there is value add in that no milk discard product, no meat discard product in ReTain. So we have 2 products. We are on the verge of having 2 products that are top-notch, big value adds to the customer, and hopefully have really, really long runways. So that's ReTain. That is ImmuCell. That is First Defense. That is my favorite stock. I like this product a lot. I like this business a lot. I think we have a really high integrity management team. If you take a look back at what this company has done, it's pretty remarkable. The accumulated deficit of this business is like $4 million, let's call it. It's actually less than that, but call it $4 million. That means that they have funded this entire business, this entire new drug of ReTain, purely through First Defense, and some other smaller products that they offer. But that is a really good sign. And once we get rid of all of that R&D expense, that's going to be more cash that flows to the bottom line. If product is flying off the shelf, that's going to be more cash to the bottom line. I really like this pick. I'm really glad that I'm holding it. from a really low cost basis. And, from a $30 million market cap, I think this is, at least a $75 million business to a $125 million business. And if, everything goes right and we can launch ReTain like we launched that first defense, the Tri-Shield, which was highly successful, I think we're in a really good position to win long term. And I think that this business can end up producing, some serious profits for years to come. So that's it. If you're new to Augury, make sure you guys subscribe, like, follow, whatever you got to do. We'll have more stock picks. We got, this is only one of the stocks in our portfolio. We got a nice lineup of really strong businesses in the portfolio right now, and hopefully we'll be finding more in the future. So stay tuned, follow along, find more stocks for yourself by following the channel, subscribing, do what you got to do. That's it. That's a MUSEL. Ticker symbol ICCC. Watch it, put it on your watch list, buy it if you want. No recommendation to buy or sell, but yeah, make sure you take a look. Peace.